Hello and welcome to the final episode of Driving Value. This episode we're talking performance. That's performance under your foot and at the Bowser. James and I will look at the MG S5 EV and discuss what the second-hand EV market has to offer, as well as having another chat with our friends at Ollie. But first, it's time to look at the latest segment to hit the market, electric cars. James, I just feel like electric vehicles have picked us up and taken us on a real roller coaster ride recently. What's impressed you most about the electric vehicles in the Australian market?
I think now we're finally starting to see that value equation flip around. So where it was that an EV was 20% more than its equivalent petrol or sort of out of reach of a lot of buyers, they are now kind of everyday car price. And we're starting to see people understand them and sort of say, yes, that's going to work for me, or more importantly, that's not going to work for me, and I can make that decision. But now for buyers out there, a brand new car, brand new electric vehicle like the MG behind us can be yours for $40,000. And all of a sudden you've got a price point that is affordable for a lot of people, giving them exactly what they need for an urban EV.
Now, I've done a little bit of research on the cars behind us, both electric vehicles. I'm fascinated about what this car offers, the MG.
The MG is terrific. You've got two battery sizes, so you can have about 330 Ks out of one and about 500 Ks out of the other, depending on how you want to use that car. You've got a lot of features, you've got a lot of options for that comfort and use around town in a compact, small SUV. And it's another one of these things that it's answering the needs of buyers.
And with the Polestar 2, now this one that we have behind us here, this is a second-hand model. This is something that we don't often see much of or even speak about much.
What we're finding is a massive question we're asked at Drive all the time is, buying a second-hand electric car, how do I know that battery is going to be up for however long it's going to be? And so when you look at your phone, and the reason I've got this here, this is from early 2024, my phone, and I now have a battery health of 88%. So not all that great, but you can do that report for the car. So Polestar have a battery report that they can do on this car. So this is 18 months old, it's done about 10,000 Ks, and it has a 96% battery health that is plus or minus 3, so it could be up to 99% battery health. Now, we know that Polestar offer this with any of their second-hand vehicles that they sell. We know you can get an app for Tesla that will do that. So if you're looking to buy a Tesla, there is an app called Tesla that can do the battery testing. It's that peace of mind that allows you to dip into a market that sort of is evolving. As you say, we've never really had second-hand electric vehicles before, but now it's there, and it's a new opportunity for affordability and value for a lot of Australian buyers.
And what are we seeing in terms of resale? Are they holding the value well? Are they dropping a little bit?
Look, it's an interesting one, that one, because we're seeing the price of new models coming down, and so that's pushing the price of second-hand models down. Where we are, you're paying a bit over $40,000 for the MG. For the second-hand Polestar, it's around $55,000 for one of those. So you're seeing that value is coming down from where it was new, but it's certainly a point where new buyers can get into that car. It's more affordable than it was when it was brand new. You can trust that battery health. It's a great way to buy.
James, here we have it, MG S5 EV. Now, this is a wonderful small SUV. Haven't driven it yet, however, I am in the market for a second car. We have a bigger car, I need a smaller car just to take the kids around and the dog. Would I be in the ballpark with this?
Mate, you have hit the nail on the head. This is what constitutes a perfect second car for many Australian families. You've got a small SUV form factor. It's 5 seats, you've got a reasonable boot, it's comfy, it's spacious, good headroom, tick. It is priced from $40,990 drive away. You've got 2 trim grades, you've got 2 battery sizes, so a short range with about 330 Ks, long range with about 520. Affordable, easy to use, easy to drive, enough range, and well priced with a 10-year warranty. It's a lot of car for the money.
So one of the things, I am going to be taking my young kids and I am going to be taking the dog in the car, so safety is key for me. How does this hold up?
Absolutely. This car, like all MGs, has got the MG Pilot driver assistance and safety technology on board. It's got plenty of airbags, it's got the pre-collision detection, it's got automatic braking, but it's also been given a 5-star ANCAP safety rating. So even though it is a small SUV, all of this is being tested and assessed before it comes to market. And what we know with a lot of these manufacturers, they're making sure that from an electric vehicle standpoint, that the battery cell is safe and secure. They're considering the next generation of drivers with these things. So yes, as a family car, as a runaround, even if you are a young driver as a first car, we've come a long way in 20 years with affordable cars, and safety has been the biggest area of change.
Now, what there is an expectation of electric cars in terms of performance and just how zippy they are off the mark.
Even without hundreds of kilowatts of power, the way an electric motor works, it's immediate onset of torque. So you've got immediate response if you need to pull into traffic and match speed. So any electric car will do that. And I think that's part of the appeal of moving to a fully electric platform.
Okay, well, let's put your knowledge to the test.
You
can take me for a spin. Well, what I've found straight away with this is roomy and spacious.
You know what? You're getting so much practicality in terms of interior now. And with an electric car, obviously, they can be a clean sheet of paper. They don't need to worry about a transmission tunnel. You don't need to worry about sort of where the engine and things are. There's still bits of car like air conditioning, condensers and whatever, but they are able to create an interior that works. And you're getting all of this for 40 grand.
It's actually ridiculous. Apple CarPlay, which is what everybody kind of looks for nowadays.
That's it.
Android Auto, heated seats, heated steering wheel.
Which is like, oh, thank God. And
because it's cold today.
Oh, and this is nice. I'm actually quite happy with this. If you've got a run around town car and you're just doing the run to the shops and the errands and things, you will do. And the national average is 30 kilometres a day. So if you get the base battery on this thing, it's got like 330k range. That's enough for most of your running around. Then you can plug it in at home, charge it up at night. You're ready to go 100% juice the next day. It costs you nothing to run. And it comes with a 10-year warranty. So you kind of don't have to think. You don't have to worry.
For so long, I found a reason not to buy an electric car. Now I'm finding it hard to find a reason why to not.
Yeah, and I think this is it.
Car.
People have sort of figured out that practicality of range anxiety, it's not real. Like it's easy enough to manage. And for a lot of Australian families where we are talking about a two-car garage,
yes.
There are two vehicles, having one car that is we're saying double cab utes and 4x4 wagons and things like that being the predominant car, whereas a small EV just makes perfect sense as the second car. These new generation cars are a massive step forward, and every time a new model comes out, it really just leapfrogs the previous generation. So for something like this, well priced, well equipped, drives nicely, plenty of space, that long warranty, it's like tick, 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 tick. So yeah, pretty hard to go past.
I just wanna wish you well.
Okay, James, simplify it for me. Buying a new car, petrol or hybrid, where do I go?
This is the $64,000 question for a lot of Australians because there's no right answer here. It really does come down to what works best for you. So to take our two Santa Fe's here, the blue one is a petrol, the green one is a hybrid. In the hybrid, you're going to use roughly 40% less fuel, so you've got that benefit, but it does cost about $4,000 more to buy for a like-for-like trim. You're never going to recoup that money from pure back-of-the-napkin maths. But if you're driving on long distances at sustained highway speeds, the petrol's going to be more efficient, the hybrid will be less efficient. If you're doing all your driving in stop-start traffic around town, the hybrid's going to be even more beneficial than the petrol in that instance. So it does come down to how you're going to drive, and even paying a little bit more for a hybrid when you buy the car, it's going to retain that value for when it's going to be a second-hand car, because we know more and more people are looking for hybrids today, let alone in 5 or 10 years' time when you go on to sell that car. People will be very interested in having that electrification as part of the car.
Which one is going to perform better for me? Oh, how am I going to get away from the lights quicker?
The more you use your right foot, the faster it will go, the more fuel you'll use. So, you can look at the performance figures. All cars these days, they'll quote their power, which is the amount of oomph the engine has, and their torque figures, which is the responsiveness of that engine. You can see where in the rev range that peak power comes on, so you know if you have to work really hard to get the car to reach its peak performance, or if it's nice and accessible low down.
Well, this is the thing, you see, I've owned many combustion engines, many fuel cars, never owned a hybrid, never owned an EV. So I know exactly how to refuel a petrol or a diesel car, but I'm not entirely sure how I would charge a hybrid or an EV.
Look, this is a great consideration to have as well, because so a closed loop hybrid like the Hyundai here, you don't need to plug it in. It just works itself out. Most Toyotas are like this. But if you buy a plug-in hybrid that with some of the cars available now can get you about 100 kilometres of electric only driving range, then have a petrol engine to back them up, you need to be able to plug that car in, ideally at home of a night. So if you've got a power point near your garage or in the driveway, that's going to work. But if you live in an apartment building or you have off-street parking, then a plug-in car, whether it's a plug-in hybrid or a pure electric, it may not work for you just yet. And this is where those considerations need to be taken in before you buy the car, because there'd be nothing worse going to buy a fully electric car, get it home and then go, well, now where do I plug it in? So these are the things you do need to consider.
Now, what you've just told me has got me kind of excited. Why don't we take these two out and put them to the test on as level a playing field as we possibly can?
Absolutely. We'll see hybrid, petrol, see where they come in for that real world fuel use.
I'm taking the cool one.
So here we go, mate. When we're talking petrol versus hybrid, there's two different kind of schools of thought, because a hybrid with the electric motor and the battery is going to naturally aid the efficiency of the car. But what you find if you're looking at a pure petrol and you're doing a lot of sustained 70, 80, 100 kilometre an hour driving, it doesn't actually make that much difference with a hybrid or a petrol, because that's the most efficient form a petrol engine can work in, and you're not getting the benefit of energy recovery through braking that you do in a hybrid. So we're in the pure petrol Santa Fe now. We've come to a stop there in traffic. This is an environment where a hybrid would be great, because it would be using the battery now to run the car, whereas we can hear our engine is still on. We're averaging, just in this traffic and the short drive we've been on, 10 litres per 100. That'll probably come down a bit as we start to move, but you can see it even creeping up now as we idle, whereas a hybrid will turn the engine off in that point and you're not using fuel as much when you're stopped. So now we're on the move, the car sort of settles into a fuel consumption zone. So we're not at the most efficient at this stage, but even just sustained driving without stop, start and sitting at the lights is always going to be more efficient. But the benefit of petrol, she's pretty punchy. So you've got immediate right foot performance in the petrol Santa Fe. The hybrid's a little bit more relaxed to get in. Some hybrids you do get the benefit of the electric and the petrol motor working together.
What's also impressive, this is the base model, and your selection of drive modes that you have. Sport, normal, eco, and you can set up into your own drive system.
This is it. So look, the reason Santa Fe won 2025 Drive Car of the Year, this is the entry-level model. You've got heated seats, you've got wireless phone charging, you've got these really comfy, they're cloth seats, but they've got kind of the cool GTI style pattern. So this is a car that is at that exact point of the Australian median new car price, in that sort of mid $50,000 range. Oh yeah, and you get the cool little blind spot cameras. Like a lot of Australians, you consider the car price as one thing and then the operating cost as another thing. You will have a lower weekly fuel bill in a hybrid than you will in a petrol, is bottom line. Hybrids, mate.
I like them.
It's the future.
It is.
Actually, it's the now. What we're seeing in the growth of new car buyers, hybrids are skyrocketing. And in fact, we've had a look. When you combine hybrids, electric and plug-in hybrids, that volume of electrified sales is going to potentially overtake pure petrol sales within the next 12 months.
Now, what is the difference between, is it as simple as it sounds, plug-in hybrid, normal hybrid? Literally, it is what it is.
Pretty much, yeah. Like the plug-in ones, you tend to have a bigger battery, so that you do need to plug them in to actually charge it up. But what you get there is the benefit of pure electric driving range for proper driving. So you can have anywhere between sort of 50 and 100 kilometres of pure electric driving before that battery goes flat, but it's still got a petrol engine to go. This Hyundai Santa Fe, this is a series hybrid or a closed loop hybrid, in that you don't need to plug it in. So the car has a battery, it has an electric motor, and it just sort of figures it out. And as you drive, the petrol engine charges the battery, and the energy recovery through braking will help charge the battery, but you don't need to think about it. The car just goes, and you basically use kind of 40% less fuel, which is kind of great. Petrol is the only major consumable that we have, not milk, not bread, not anything like that, that has such massive price fluctuations with it. So the idea that you're buying it, $2 one week and $1.80 on the Thursday, and then it goes up to $2.50 2 days later.
Yeah.
Nothing else is variable like that. And I think what we're seeing now, everyone's kind of a bit sick of it. And they go, well, you know what? If instead of filling up once a week, I can fill up once a fortnight or once a month, that's just a little bit better for the standard weekly family finances.
Now, with this Santa Fe, this is a calligraphy edition. What do we see different in this one, other than the hybrid system, the battery, the fuel?
Well, you can get this same hybrid driveline across the range. So this is the benefit of what we're seeing, and it's some of the stuff that we've talked about. If you want a Santa Fe hybrid, you don't have to have the calligraphy. And it used to be the hybrid was skewed to the high-end car with the sunroof and the nice alloys. You can buy this. So we've got nicer leather, we've got twin phone chargers, we've got the cool UV disinfectant glove box thing. There's, a sunroof, there's all sorts of bits and pieces. All of that is the nice to have. The need to have of the hybrid driveline you can have in the entry-level Santa Fe as well. But look, we've tried to do this segment, while driving, but the reality is we're stuck in traffic for most of it because that is the reality of
it's the nature of the beast
of urban roads. This is where the hybrid will use demonstrably less fuel than the pure petrol.
Yeah.
And so, urban living, city living, commuting, city driving, a hybrid is going to be beneficial to you every day of the week. Whereas regional touring, long distance driving, kind of saying, I've had enough, retiring, I'm just going to do a lap of Australia, you can get a pure petrol, pure diesel. You're going to be efficient driving, and that way the hybrid's not going to save you as much fuel.
Today on Driving Value, we're exploring the latest advancements in driving electric vehicles and how an all-innovated lease could help the eligible EV become even more affordable. Bonnie, thank you for joining us once again to share some insights. Bonnie, we're seeing more and more people drive electric cars, but how does Ollie make it possible to get more value for money with an EV through a novated lease?
For anyone looking to get into an electric car, a novated lease is a great option, thanks to the government's electric vehicle discount. This initiative was designed to make electric cars more affordable by allowing novated lease payments for an eligible EV to come from 100% before tax salary. This could reduce your taxable salary and add up to tens of thousands in tax savings over the life of the lease. You might have heard of an EV fringe benefits tax or FBT exemption. That's the EV discount, and this is what makes it possible for the novated lease payment to be deducted from your salary entirely before tax.
And how can an Ollie novated lease help Australians manage the costs of running a new car?
A novated lease is a way to finance a car through salary packaging. The regular payment is automatically deducted from your salary each pay. But there's a cool twist. With a novated lease, the payment covers the car and your driving expenses, all in one. That can include insurance, registration, servicing, tyres, and even charging.
So tell me, how does the cost of running an EV compare with the cost of running a petrol car?
Running an electric car is generally cheaper than a petrol car. And with a novated lease, electricity for metered home charging and the use of public charging stations can be included in your regular lease payments taken from before tax salary. This means that you could pay less tax on charging your car too. And we can all benefit from having more of our salary to spend these days. So, if you have solar panels to help reduce electricity costs or off-street parking, an EV really is a great option.
Well, Bonnie, thank you so much for your wonderful knowledge. And if you want to know more about a novated lease, why don't you head on over to ollie.com.au to find out more. Well, James, that's it for this episode and this series. Your knowledge, as ever, has been unquestionable. Brilliant as always. But before I let you go, there's a couple more things I want you to answer for me. What are we going to take away in terms of driving value and in terms of affordability from this series?
Look, I think the biggest thing that we've seen is that value and affordability comes in different shapes and sizes, and value means different things for different people. but there's kind of never been a time where you've had more value as a car buyer, whether the price points of the cars, the inclusions in the cars, the amount of safety and technology that you get on base models, but the warranty and service support options, and even the near new options that we've looked at throughout the show. So I think for a value buyer, you now get more car than you've ever had before.
Now, the James Ward Magic Crystal Ball has always been pretty accurate.
I have that around here
What
somewhere.
are your predictions for the next 12 to 24 months in terms of this market?
Look, looking forward, I think the key is the automotive market is changing very rapidly. So the brands that you see and know of yesterday will be different tomorrow and into the future, and that's a good thing. We're seeing more value come in from new names and new models, things you may not have looked at before. One of the key things though, and I think it's a really great thing for consumers, we will see more competitive activity happening in that aftermarket space. So warranty, servicing, providing more entrenched value to buyers. So whether you're coming in at the entry level and the most affordable, or you're adding a few little nice things, that ownership journey is going to be more positive. And with these long warranties, and you've got the certified pre-owned programs, moving on from your new car into your next new car and retaining that value has never been a bigger thing. So look, it's an exciting time, certainly over the next 2 to 5 years.
Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I am Chris Smith.
And I'm James Ward.
And can you please drop me at home now?
Mate, I reckon. Picanto?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask.
Thinking about buying your next car? Well, make your first move a smart one and head to drive.com.au. You'll find thousands of new and quality used cars for sale, all in one location. Our Drive-built intelligence highlights the cars that are a great price today, so you don't miss out on a deal. Drive, the smarter way to find and buy your next car, all in one place. Find it, buy it, drive it at drive.com.au.